Oh, and by the way, now unless you have read the description of this in the video or the podcast episode before you've listened in, that title is probably a bit vague and you're wondering what the hell am I talking about. Now, back in the 80s, I don't think he was in the 70s now, but he definitely was in the 80s, there was a detective called Columbo. Now, if you know your detective series or you are of an age, you're probably all well aware of Columbo. Now, Columbo was one of these he looked like a bit of a slob when he, would show up at a crime scene or whatever. It always looked like he had like half his dinner on the front of his trench coat. It always looked like he actually had, just got out of bed and he was, he'd just been sleeping in his clothes or been sleeping on a park bench, because he always looked like a bit of a bum. But he was always kind of mumbling and didn't seem fully with it when he was going around the crime scenes and interviewing people to see who the murderer was. But you did find that he actually used that to his advantage. When it came to the end of the show, as most of these murder shows go, like Murder, She Wrote and all those different ones, they usually have all the suspects in one room, and then there is usually the big reveal of who actually did the murder. So everybody's looking at each other and nobody knows who did it except for Columbo. Now, Columbo again would kind of mumble through this monologue, and he would kind of go over the facts of the case, and you were here and she was there and you drank this and you went that and you phoned this person, and all the kind of facts that we had already seen in the TV show. But when he would finish up, it looked like he was just hadn't got a clue who actually done it, and he probably gave the murderer a bit of confidence in themselves that they weren't actually going to be caught. He would be on the verge of turning, walking out the door or whatever, walking out of the room, and he would stop for a second and just say, "Oh, by the way." And you knew that when he got to that "by the way," this was where he was just going to drop the hammer. This was the point that he was just going to nab the murderer. He was going to come out with some fact or something that was impossible to wriggle out of, and the murderer was going to be caught red-handed. But up to that point, that murderer probably had full confidence in themselves that they were never ever going to be caught until Columbo said that phrase, "by the way." Now, what can you do with that clause? Well, I was reading Jim Edwards' again, fantastic book, Copywriting Secrets, and he brings it up in that book. Now, for a lot of people, we aren't probably very sales type people, so we are afraid to ask people for money for our product. But unfortunately, if you don't ask people for money for your product, you're not going to make any money from your products, and you're not going to get any sales. So you do need to ask for the sale. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of people, if you are maybe subscribed to a lot of lists, especially on internet marketing, there are a lot of internet marketers that will just come straight into your inbox, and it's like a car salesman shouting off features, shouting you need to get this, you need to get that, and it's sale. As soon as you open the email, you're blown back by how much salesy talk you're hit with, and you will find over time that you will just get tired of that. You will stop opening on people's emails because they're just, it's just sale. There's no building a relationship between you, and you just feel that they would like you just to move out of the way and just give you access to their credit card or your bank account. They don't actually need you, they just want your details and nothing else. So unfortunately, because we are probably hit with that over and over again, when it comes to us actually asking for cash or asking for a sale, we feel that we need to be a little bit like that, and because we don't want to be like that, we don't ask for the sale, we don't ask for the price. So there is an easy way out of that, and again, this is something that I have been doing for years in my daily email, but Jim Edwards explained it really well with that phrase, "by the way." So what you can do with, if you are writing maybe an email to your list today, or you are writing a blog post, you can write on some topic that person is interested in finding out. So for example, if I was in the marketplace where I was selling maybe weight loss products, I could enter my customers' inbox today with a little article saying 3 ways to lose weight before breakfast. Now, I'm sure if you wanted to lose weight before breakfast, I'm sure you would be intrigued to buy that. And when you did see it in the inbox, it wouldn't seem like a sales message, it would actually seem like an article. Now again, this isn't a clickbait thing when somebody actually clicks on that email that they actually get in and don't find that content. You do actually give them that content, you do give them something worthwhile, so when they open it they will find that article inside, which is giving them the 3 tips that they can use to lose weight in the morning. But as you're rounding up the email, rather than you just signing off saying have a nice day or whatever and bye bye and good luck and maybe see you tomorrow, you do that little Columbo phrase at the bottom, and you have this, oh by the way, if you would like to know more ways to lose weight, I highly recommend you click on this link and get this product. Now, I'm sure if you were reading through that email, not only did you get good value from that email, but by the time you came to it, that kind of gentle little kind of nudge in that direction to where that product is was very subtle. You didn't notice it. It wasn't like a car salesman screaming in your face saying buy, buy, buy now. It was just nice and subtle. So give that some thought today. If you are selling anything at all, keep that phrase in mind. Oh, by the way. Or maybe something like the equivalent, something like, oh, and before I go, or something along those lines. It's just something subtle. Again, you can put these into, your emails, your blog posts, if you're doing something on social media or something like that, where you're giving somebody good content, because as I said, people are kind of got their backs up when it comes to sales message, and if they know that they are being sold from or sold to, straight away they will have the backup, and they probably won't open your content, they won't open your emails, they won't read your blog post or whatever, because they know that they are going to be hit with a sale. But if you gently and subtly kind of end off your content with a phrase like by the way, or or here's what you need to do next, or some kind of gentle kind of nudge, you will find a lot of people will kind of have their radar down or will have their back down, and they will be more inclined to have a look at that sales message you have, because you're not coming across real salesy, you're not pushing the sales on them, you're just kind of gently just nudging them to the side over to where that product is. So keep that in mind today if you are selling anything at all. Be like Columbo, have that oh by the way phrase at the end of your whatever your content is, so that you're not catching your customer, you're catching them unaware, and they don't realize what's happening until you actually have come up with that phrase, and you're just giving them a gentle nudge, just pushing them over to whatever product you're selling. If you find maybe that you are someone who is very uncomfortable kind of pushing people toward products or asking for cash, just gently nudge them over to a sales letter or whatever, and then let them take whatever action they are going to take over there. So keep that in mind today. Be like Columbo and gently nudge people in the direction you want them to go to. So as always, if you'd like to find more of this great content, do a search for WriteCome, WriteCome.com. And by the way, if you do go over the WriteCome site right now, we have a great free report which is called Words to Wealth, and in it I'm going to show you 10 different ways you can make money from your keyboard. See how easy that was? Now, as always, if you'd like to subscribe to this channel on YouTube, click the bell button and I will send the next couple of videos to you. Or if you subscribe on your iPod machine, I will send all the next pieces of content straight to your iPod device. So, as always, have a great day, and don't forget, by the way, take care. Bye bye.